So many discarded parts. What are the manufacturers planning to do with them? They might as well be planning to KO another Barabtos later. Hello everyone. Welcome to the Model Express channel. This video features the MG Vidar Gundam, recently released by MH Model, but with various added accessories. Although MH Model was released later than Zhongguo models, MH Model has its own unique style. Overall, I would give this product a good review. There are indeed many additional features: waist extensions, nozzle replacements, muzzle effect parts, red eye effect parts, and a MB style base. MH Model's recent launch of a new product line with the number 88 has sparked much speculation about future product plans. However, the frame of this new model is indeed a bit too tight, and some details are not well done. Don't argue that the KO version doesn't need to be exactly the same as the original. The manufacturer should admit their shortcomings when pointed out by players. Don't try to shift the blame onto the players, claiming the players' demands are excessive. This attitude from the manufacturer feels extremely irresponsible, unless the manufacturer trying to cash in on players and run away quickly. The runner maintains MH's consistent quality. Sharpness is acceptable and the surface is relatively clean. However, likely due to the large amount of contents, some parts were almost spilling off the runner when I received the model. I recommend checking carefully before opening the package. I'm unsure what the so-called bonus items specifically include, but things like the waist extension parts seem more appropriate for the regular version. If there really isn't a first print bonus, they'll probably just remove the effect parts. Incidentally, due to sprue reuse, the waist extension parts actually come with two sets of pre-painted parts. The pre-painted metallic finish is okay. I personally think the gold color looks quite nice. However, the parts include a significant number of discarded parts. It would be best if they re-released the Barbatos model later, otherwise, the manufacturer's actions are a bit ridiculous. After all, the parts layout of the MH model wasn't a direct copy of Bandai's, and they spent time rearranging it. Removing those discarded parts would save at least the cost of a runner mold, not to mention that material costs would also be reduced without discarded parts. Okay, let's now take a look at the quality of this product's runner. After 5 hours, the assembly was finally complete. Regarding the color, I personally think there's a slight color difference, but it's not very noticeable. The assembly process was generally smooth, but the frame assembly felt too stiff. This stiffness is actually a clever trick. The parts don't require adjustment, but you really need to use a little force to install them properly. White marks appeared on my chest part after assembly, which is a bit unacceptable. Of course, the manufacturer knows the frame is a bit tight, so they provided a warning instruction. Personally, I think it's best not to adjust the parts, as the model might loosen after being left to sit for a while. Additionally, the elbow area of the MH model was made too tightly, resulting in white marks after bending it twice. Bandai used KPS material here, so it's still okay. This is an area that everyone should pay attention to. There are some loose parts around the ankle, which feels quite dangerous. I saw on the forum that someone posted about the ankle part cracking. The original Bandai also had this issue of loose parts, but Bandai uses KPS material, which makes the parts much more durable. It's safe to say KPS won this time. In terms of configuration, 3 types of nozzles are provided. I personally chose the original nozzle, but you can choose the others as you see fit. I opted for the parts specified in the original design. The 2 replacement nozzles are indeed more secure. I saw some players on the BBS saying that the original nozzles are very easy to fall off, but the kit I received wasn't that bad. They're just not as tight as the other 2 nozzles. The smaller metallic parts inside the replacement nozzle, which is closer to the original, are a bit difficult to install. You can use tweezers to hold them in place. Regarding the effect parts, you need to decide whether you need the red eye effect part and which eye it should be installed on before assembling the head. Otherwise, disassembling it later will be quite troublesome. Also, you need to install this part as the base for the effect part first, and then install the red eye effect part. I don't understand why the instruction manual doesn't clearly explain this installation method. The parts are already provided. Even if you include this effect part as a first print bonus, it shouldn't interfere with the instruction manual. Additionally, this red eye effect part is a bit loose. Mine keeps falling off, probably because the joint has been stretched too much. The muzzle spark effect piece is quite sturdy and won't easily fall off even if you shake it. In terms of details, I'll make a simple comparison with Bandai. Just to clarify, I'm not saying that KO has to be 100% identical to the original Bandai, but I can point out the differences. If you don't like it, you can skip this part and please don't criticize me. First, there are the 3 small dots at the antenna position. Everyone knows the KO version is crooked. Also, the grooves on the Bandai-themed parts have been changed to panel lines and stretched in the MH model. Similarly, the grooves on the white parts of the chest are also stretched. The grooves on the wrists are also stretched. The details in the crotch area seem to be something the manufacturer tried their best with, but the precision definitely doesn't reach Bandai's level. I feel the MH modeler misunderstood the details of the small dots on the backpack, including the antenna grooves. I didn't find any particularly obvious detail cuts in other areas. Most of the compromises were made due to insufficient precision. For example, deepening the panel lines is a standard practice for the KO version. Finally, on a side note, MH model kit manufacturers are, in my opinion, one of the better marketers right now. From their initial Calamity Gundam to the Testament Gundam, Unicorn Gundam, and Forbidden Gundam, but their products have consistently had some issues. For example, the Calamity Gundam's hip joint was prone to breaking, the Testament Gundam's mask wasn't well made, and the Unicorn Gundam's chest connection wasn't secure. Therefore, I don't think it's necessary to overhype MH. The same problems would have drawn a lot of criticism from collectors from other manufacturers. And what many people might not know is that MH initially marketed themselves extensively as surpassing Bandai. But if they can't even achieve the same level of precision, what makes them superior? In conclusion, let's give an objective summary. This KO product is generally okay, but it does have some minor issues. The reason I can give it a positive review is that the manufacturer has added some optimizations to the older version, and given the previous manufacturer's generally mediocre products, MH's product looks quite good. Furthermore, various discount coupons have driven down the price, and the manufacturer has added a bunch of accessories, making the price-performance ratio very good. However, if you do buy it, you should still be careful during assembly. If you're asking for my purchase advice, if you haven't bought the Bandai version, you might want to consider buying it to try it out. It's also quite cost-effective as practice material for model modification. Okay, that concludes this review video. Please follow my channel, like and share, and see you in the next video.